So now we're going to go in and look at this guy. You can see that what we do is whenever we get this Zap event, add to order, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to leverage Zapier storage. So we're going to leverage Zapier storage, and what we're going to do is we're going to leverage Zapier list storage, okay? So now how storage works is you have key values. That key value is your lookup value where you can get all the data that's actually stored. Your list is literally don't run off with my water, please. Your list is literally a list. You can think of it as a stack or a queue if you know basic data structures from computer engineering. If you don't know data structures, then you can just think of it as physically a list, an itemized list of things, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use the user's mini chat ID, and we're going to hyphenate and create a custom value that is order. Now, that is because we need a unique key. So we need a unique key to be able to look up the line items for this user's order. So this mini chat ID, we know that is going to be a unique field. So we're just going to, and plus I want to have multiple pieces of data for this user ID. So I'm not just only going to place his user ID, because you'll see just in a second in this increment value, we're using another Zapier storage piece of data, and I need another key. So I can't just give only the user ID, because I need to be able to find those keys. So in this one, our key is just going to be user ID / order. And what we're going to do is we're going to push a new value onto the list at the very end of the list, and that value will be this user's custom field food order. So remember, that is whatever the line item is that he just added to his order. He just added this margarita. Oh, don't delete that. He just added this margarita to his order, so we got margarita $7. So we're just going to push that as the food order, and we're going to set the price of $7 to the item price field, and then we're going to fire off this Zap. And then now we're just going to grab that food order variable. So in this instance, he's going in and we're adding that margarita $7 to his order. So that's done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do what you want to do. We're going to go in and perform some mathematics to go in and sum up his order total. So we do that with increment value, which is also storage by Zapier app. So this is also a storage by Zapier app. So now you can see we have another key value, and this key value, we're just going in and using his mini chat user ID. Now we can change this and we can call this, order total price if we want to, but I'm not going to do that. But if we want to, we can do that. The whole point is this has to be a unique field. We could not do this as order. If we did this as order, this is now going to cause a conflict between our other storage object, because we have two mini chat ID / orders. So these guys need to actually be complete unique guys. So now I know he's going to be a unique guy. This is going to be his actual price. So now what am I going to do? I am going to increment the amount. I'm going to increment the amount by whatever that item price was that came from right here. So in right here, I set an item price to 7. So now when I trigger this Zap, inside food order, I have margarita 7. Inside item price, I have 7. So now at this point, whenever I pushed onto the list, I pushed that margarita item onto the list. And now whenever I increment this value, I'm going to be incrementing by that $7. So now I've incremented by that $7. So now every time he adds something to his order, that the order total, which is what this storage object represents, is his order total, is going to be increased by whatever the amount of the item that he just added to his cart is. So now that gets added there. And then all I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to go in and send out this message right here. Now, while I'm here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab this guy right here, and I'm going to get rid of that guy, and then I'm going to come here and go back to this demo restaurant bot. And I'm going to do something that I really recommend that you guys do all the time, which is create generalized content just as a piece of new content. So now I'm going to create a piece of new content, and this is going to be checkout or continue. Well, let's try to spell it right. So this is going to be checkout or continue. So I'm always going to use the flow builder because that's actually best. And then we're just going to go in and do this. You can check out or continue adding items to your order. And then I'm going to go in and do checkout. And then I'm going to do add more items. So pretty straightforward, right? This is going to be a go-to, and this is going to be another go-to. This is one of the main reasons that I suggest that you guys go in and make these generalized flows so that you can now go in and easily use these generic flows over and over and over again, and your flow doesn't look crazy. I mean, your flow doesn't become some big, huge flow, because what you're doing is just like in computer engineering, you're encapsulating flows into this generic little object. So now this guy wants to check out, so I just need to find checkout. So there's checkout. And then I need to find add more items, and that is going to be just menu. So now let's preview that guy. Now he's going to get this, right? He can either check out, and if he checks out, it's going to go in and actually put him into that checkout flow, I would hope. And it doesn't actually look like it did anything. So we'll go in and check and see what's going on with that. Let's just send that back to him again and see. Let's try that one more time and see what the hell mini chat is doing. Come back here. So I don't understand why you're giving me this, giving me that menu twice. So now that that's done, now let's see if we can go in, push that content back out. Now this guy is giving, oh shit, that's why he's giving me that, because I'm literally pushing out the wrong thing here. So let's go back and actually push out the correct thing there. Now that I put out the correct thing, let's add some more items. That gives me my menu just like I wanted. Now let's try to push that out again and make sure, see if that checkout's actually working, because it didn't look like it worked before. So let's check out. And if that checkout's not actually working, which it doesn't seem that it's actually working, let's go in and open this flow and see. Let's see why this guy is not. This is checkout or continue. This is this guy. Why is he not? Oh, no wonder, because that guy is not the right flow. This is obviously checkout or continue, which is the same exact guy that I'm here. So I just literally created a recursive loop. So let's get rid of that. And then let's go in and now see if we can find the right checkout. Messages checkout. That seems like the right one. So now let's try that. And that should work. Okay, let's get checked out. Now he's going to go in and do that. So let's go in and publish that piece of content. And then let's just go back here to Zapier. And then actually on this piece of content, we want to do one more thing. And what we want to do is come here. We want to add a little nice 3-second delay there, and then publish that. And then we'll go right back here to Zapier, and we'll add one more little step. And we're just going to do this just so they get a nice little, so my user can have, you know, a nice little experience and not have to type anything and just be, I mean, literally driven as to what they need to do and have some good call to actions as far as what they need to do. So now we're going to send this content back to the user. We're going to pick this demo restaurant bot. And then always, I recommend that you're always obviously going to use a custom value. And then I'm just going to use from step 1, whatever this guy's ID was. And then we're going to use this content, which is going to be checkout or continue. And then that's done. So now we just edited this add to order flow. So step 2 has some error that requires some attention. I don't think any of that actually has any error that requires any attention. So you actually need to shut up. So let's go back here and test this step. Okay, so now whatever that was, that order's done. What else are you saying has an issue? Okay, so let's create and continue that. Now let's finish, turn our Zap on. So now that Zap's on. So now we've went in, we've edited that flow there. So now you saw whenever it gets added to a cart, how it goes in and actually adds that value up, right? I just showed you how you go in, and that's literally just this little custom piece of code right here, or actually it's storage by Zapier. The other one, the do math, was a custom Python function. This storage by Zapier just allows us to increment the value, which is what that value, this piece of data is what's actually holding the order total. So we just increment that so that we have a running total of the order. So now what happens is in this flow, that, I mean, the guy's obviously going to eventually check out, right? He's got to check out. So we've got some checkout right here. So pretty much the same thing here. We've got some Zapier event that fires on a new trigger Zap called checkout. Now remember, this is the key that holds the entire order. So this is that list that holds all your line items. So what we're going to go in and do with Storage by Zapier is we're going to retrieve that list. We're going to go in and grab that list, and we're going to basically format it with this #S. And then we're going to say that, hey, I want this on a new line so that I'll get every single item on a new line, just like you saw that I got here whenever I checked out. I got somewhere here a nice little everything on a new line here. So that's what that step is doing. It's just formatting so that I can get this nice little output here. So now I get that nice little output there. Now I'm going to go in and get this value. I'm going to look up this value right here. If you remember this key, this is the value that holds our order total. So I'm going to grab that order total. And then all I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to send a text message to the user that basically says, hey, here's your order. Give the output from step 2, which was the fetch and the lookup that went in and actually grabbed all the line items from our order. And then I'm going to say your order total is $, and then whatever the value is that I got from done. Are you sure done, or is it half-ass done? Okay. If I just check it up, is it going to be all done, or am I going to say I have to say through Bonker this shit's not done? Did you fix it? Did you fix the issue with the actual with the invoices and not showing the actual creating the same invoice for everybody on a product invoice?
Yes, actually that was the same thing.
So I'll just go check it later is what you're saying? The Zapier integration's done? Okay. What am I going to do in action?
Yes.
Who cares?
Okay, just so there is only the trigger, okay?
No, there needs to be a trigger and an action. There was already an action.
No, there is no action defined.
There's already an action defined. You already had an action create invoice.
Yes, but that is not actually the fetch invoice is different. You can put into that.
Okay. Well, we'll have to talk about it later. I'm pretty sure you did it wrong, so we'll just talk about it later. So now you can see here's how that works. Sorry about that, guys. So does that answer your question, Ethan? How you can actually go in and calculate this order?
Yeah, I think so. I just got one other question that I got stuck up on a little while ago. The custom fields that you have, do you have it set so that it updates when they click on the card, or does each card have their own custom field?
It just updates the same value whenever they click on this. So see, you click on this and it sends you this message for confirmation, and whenever you confirm, it goes into this action group. This action group just updates food order. So does this action group here. This action group just updates food order. If you were to go to dessert menu and look at that flow, whenever you add these guys here, does the same thing. This guy just updates food order and item price. This guy just updates food order and item price. The only difference is whenever this guy updates food order and item price, he updates the value to strawberry cheesecake. and this price to 10 because that's what that is. But if you go in and click on this brownie and ice cream, this guy's going to update food order to brownie and ice cream, and he's going to set the price to $8 because that's what it is. So I only ever just use 2 custom fields, one to hold the line item of what you're adding to your cart, and 2 to hold the actual price for that actual item. Now, the only thing I want you guys to really remember in this is right now, until my good friends at ManyChat go in and make updates specifically for me, because I ask them, you can only use integer values in a number field. You cannot use a float value. So if you go in and you say your item price is $9.99 or $9.47, whenever you send that value and put that value in ManyChat, they're just going to they take the floor, so they're going to use a floor function, and they're just going to convert that $7.47 into 7 actual dollars, and then they're going to send that. They're going to send that out, and you're going to lose that cent. So now, whenever you're calculating everything, your data is just not going to make sense. Which is why all my items have. That's why all my items have a integer value and not a decimal value, because the decimal is just pointless because ManyChat doesn't deal with floats right now. They only deal with ints.
Cool, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I think I have it all figured out now.
Cool. So typically what I do here on live training is I don't really try to do any real self-promotion. I just kind of try to figure out what you guys want to learn, what you guys are struggling with, how I can help you, and then we'll just dive into that, and I'll either show you live examples that I already have built, or we'll just go in and build one on the fly and show you exactly how to do it and just answer whatever questions that you have. So so it's up to you, whatever you guys want me to show you. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about, questions that you want to ask, best practices, if you want to see actual live examples of how to do this or that, then you just let me know and we'll continue from there. Don't be shy, guys.
I'm out for now. You gave me so much information. I'm going to have to go and put that into practice before I even ask another question. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Have a good one. So, Tim, what about you, buddy?
Hi, John.
Hey, how you
doing? It's very new stuff for me with the bots, and yeah, it was a little bit fast, so I'm not so well in English, but I try to figure it out. And in the moment, I didn't have any questions, so the only thing was I have to start and to try something.
Okay. So you don't have any real questions right now then that you want to go over? There's nothing that you want me to show you right now?
Actually, no questions at the moment.
Okay, well, let's just do this reservation then, okay? So I'm pretty sure that on this demo bot, I'm almost certain on this demo bot, if I go back to this demo bot, that I don't have any reservations, okay? So let's just check and see my keywords and if I have anything that says reservation. So I don't have anything that says reservation. So since I don't have anything that says reservation, the first thing that I want to do is, like I said, that for me, a best practice is I like to segregate all my content as a generic flow so that I can use it whenever I want to. So that now I can have a keyword and I can just attach that keyword to an existing content that I've created. Let's say I have a keyword, make reservation, book a table, schedule a meeting, schedule a call, something like that. Those would be all triggers that would schedule a reservation, right? So now on that keyword, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to just link to that existing flow. But at the same time, let's say somewhere in a different flow, I'm having a dialogue with somebody, and somewhere in a different flow, I want to give them a button, or if I want to give them a quick reply that says, would you like to make a reservation? Would you like to schedule a meeting? Well, now they can just click on that. I don't have to build an entire flow again. I can just link that to my pre-existing flow. So let's go ahead and do that and call that make reservation, because that makes sense, because that's exactly what we're going to do here. So let's make a reservation. So let's just go to our flow builder. Let's see. So you want to make a reservation. Now, are we doing this for a restaurant, or what are we doing?
For a meeting, I think.
Yes, restaurant.
Okay. So if we're gonna do this for a restaurant, let's go in and change this real quick to our content. Let's go in and change this. Now, let's go back to our content and make a new one called Make a Reservation. Because a dinner reservation could be a little different than actually scheduling a meeting or something. So let's make a dinner reservation. So
Okay.
So we're gonna go grab some user input. How many are gonna be in your party? And let's just call this party size. So let's just call this party size, and let's just have this be a number. And then let's make this a number. Actually, I don't want to make that a, yeah, we can just, I mean, I don't have a choice now because it's already a number. So let's just make that a number. Let's not skip that. Or, I mean, I guess we could technically allow them to skip it if you want, but I don't want to allow them to skip it. I don't like people skipping stuff. I like them to give me all the information that I need. So now let's ask them, when do you want to book for? Tomorrow at noon, 12, 25, 17 at 3 p.m. So now I gave them a good example of what could actually be the format of the data that they're going to give me. And I'm just going to save this as a custom field called dinner reservation time. This is going to be a text. So now I've got that. So now I'm pretty sure that's all the data that I actually need here, right? What else could I possibly need? I've got how many is going to be in their party, and I've got when they actually want to make this reservation for. So I'm pretty sure that's all the data I need. I don't need any other data from them. So now I'm going to go in and do an action group, and here I'm just going to trigger some Zap. Make dinner reservation, publish that guy. Let's go to Zapier. And first, before we go to Zapier, let's go to, see, I'm on Jonathan Vaughn. Let's go to calendar. And somewhere, create a new calendar. So I'm going to create a new calendar that basically lets me know what this is for. It's for dinner reservations. It's for dinner reservations from that demo bot. So now I'll go into Zapier, and I'm going to go into my dashboard. I'm going to make a new Zap. And then I'm just going to pick ManyChat as my trigger. And it is going to happen whenever a new Zap event is fired, coming from this demo bot. Should be make dinner reservation. and just go ahead and continue this, fetch and continue. Now I'm going to continue. Next guy is going to be Google Calendar, and this is going to be, now you've got the option what you want to do here. You can either create a detailed event or you can create a quick event. So let's just look at the differences there. If you want to create a quick event, then if you want to create a quick event, you just have some very simple information that you're going to give there. You're basically going to give an entire string here that is in this format: dinner with Michael 7 p.m. on this date, or meet Ash 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so that's going to be your actual quick event. Now I don't want to use that quick event. I want to use a detailed event. So I want to use this detailed event for a couple reasons. It's a little bit more in depth, but we're going to use that, and we're going to go in and say, check these. You know, where is that? There must be some other calendar. This dinner reservations calendar that is not showing up. So I want to just double check that this guy, I'm so stupid sometimes. So that guy's not going to show up right there because he is not in the right account. So let's go in and authenticate that account. Now I'll get that account authenticated. Now we should be able to go in and see that calendar. There it is, dinner reservations. So here's a summary. Here's a summary. This is a dinner reservation for, what did we just call that? We called that party size, right? So that's party size. There's party size. And then let's maybe just put in this guy's first name and this guy's last name, so I know who this is for. Okay, so this gives me a summary of what's actually going on. Now, here's what you really want to make sure that you do. Is just in this description. This description is a complete arbitrary thing. It doesn't show up anywhere really, so we're just going to put his ManyChat user ID in there. The reason that we're going to put his ManyChat user ID in there is because this guy made a dinner reservation. We've got him booked a table in our restaurant. I want to make sure that this guy comes, right? We really want to make sure that he comes and actually fulfills this dinner reservation. So for that, through Facebook Messenger, I'm going to fire him off a message, let's say some 10 minutes, some 15 minutes, some hour before his actual dinner reservation. Now, how am I going to do that? I'm going to create a Zap that triggers on an event starting, and I'm going to get that event whenever it starts, and then I'm just going to pull, I know in the description, I've got the ManyChat user ID that I need to send out the message to say, hey, you've got a dinner reservation that has this summary, and I can just send them this message. So I don't need this location. This start date and time, I do need that. And this start date and time should go in and be time, maybe. Was that time? What was that we used there? Dinner reservation time. Oh, it's right there in front of me. Dinner reservation time. And then, now I know here that these guys give me a little help, and this could be +1, right? They say that this could go in and be +1H, so I'm just going to say that this is +1H. So it's going to be whatever this time was, +1 hour. Repeat frequency isn't going to repeat, isn't going to repeat, isn't going to repeat, isn't all day. Isn't this, don't really need attendees, but if you want, you can go in and put an attendee if you guys have this guy's email. So you can put this email, and now he can get a notification through email, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want him to know I'm using Google Calendar, so I'm not even going to send him that. Do I want to use default reminders? That I can leave there. I don't even have to actually do anything. And then here, I'm pretty sure I don't have to do anything either. So now I can just go in and continue. And now what I want to actually do is I want to come back here. And I want to see this guy right here. I want to recheck this because if not, this is going to actually fail out. So let's fetch and continue this guy. Let's see who this guy is. This guy is someone D. Didn't get any of his information here. I wonder why I didn't actually get this guy's information. Didn't get his first name, didn't get his last name, didn't get any of that actual information. So anyways, what I want to do is I want to come over to this demo bot and I want to find whoever this last guy was is typically, oh, no wonder, because it's this guy right here. So let's just unsubscribe this guy because I don't know who this guy is. So now, this is just one of the only things I don't really like with Zapier is, or at least how ManyChat's sending data, because it's not really Zapier's fault. It's really how ManyChat is sending data to them. So now you can see I've got the actual last person that subscribed to me. So now that I got this last person that subscribed to me, I need to go in and I need to set some custom fields. That is going to be dinner reservation time, which is going to be tomorrow at noon. And then we had some party size or something. I think party size is going to be a party of 5. So now I need to set that. Now that I set that, now I can just retest this and I can go in and pull in that data. Now Google Calendars won't throw me an error and say, hey, you don't have a start date, because literally I went in and just manually set her start date. Now I'm getting that start date back. Now I can come over here. Now I can actually create this and test this, and the specific time range is empty. So not really sure what you meant by that. The specific time range is empty. So that should actually be right. So let's just not worry about that. You really want me to complete all steps. So let's just come here and try again. Let's continue that and let's just skip this test for now. I don't really care about that. So let's continue. This is demo bot. And to keep things organized, we're just going to go in and grab this guy right here. And we're going to put that guy right in there. And then we're going to pop this guy into some folder. And then we're going to turn him on. So now let's see if this actually will work. Right, so let's preview this out. So now that should have been triggered there. Let's go to our calendar and go to this dinner reservations calendar and see if Google can actually load this dinner reservations calendar. And it looks like it is actually loaded. But there's some event there. So it does not seem like this actually went. So that's telling me that there must be some problem here. And this guy, let's take a look here and find dinner reservation time. Tomorrow at noon, that's totally correct. So this is totally correct, and Google's even telling me that human readable dates at 5 p.m. tomorrow or next Friday at noon. All of those are allowed. So what I'm thinking is I'm thinking that we have an issue there, and we want to go in and put time, and then we want to put that, is what I'm thinking. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what Google is complaining about. So let's take a look and see if that's what they were actually complaining about. And it looks like that was what they were complaining about. So now Google looks like he's happy, and I can see that. Is there anything here? Nope, there's nothing here yet. So this is finished. So this Google Calendar, there you go. There's that dinner reservation that just showed up on the calendar. So let's go in and push this out again. And let's go back to our bot and say, hey, we want to do a dinner reservation at 9 for 9. And we're going to do this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So now the user has no idea what's actually happened, right? But if I go in and actually check this, I can see there's that guy right there, right? He just got his booking, a dinner reservation at 8 p.m. For 9 for John Vaughn, okay? Now, if I actually look at this guy, you can see that there is no, for this event, there is no actual real information, right? So now you can see there's that description, right? No one sees this description, but there's this guy's mini chat ID, so that now whenever this event actually fires out, I can go in and push him out a notification to let him know that, hey, you've got a dinner reservation that you should show up for. So now the only other thing that I probably want to do is I probably want to add something here that is just a mini chat thing that says, hey, buddy, So now I've got two options here that I can do. I can either just send him out a text message, or I can create a custom content that has like some fireworks or something, or some pretty little content that's like, hey, congratulations, I've got a table book for you. So if I want to send him that content, I can send him that content. So I can just come in here. This is not my restaurant bot. So actually, we didn't do that from the restaurant bot, right? We did that from the demo bot. So great. So we'll go to this demo bot, and then we can just go to content, and then we can create a new content. Create some content called reservation was scheduled, and then we'll just do some flow. And we'll just go ask Google for some images of some dinner reservation. I mean, all this shit looks really good. This looks really great. So I'm just going to download this image real quick. That looks like a good enough image. So we got that image, and then we'll just come right back over here, and we'll add some image. And that will be wherever this went to. And then there must be some dinner reservation here, right there. And what was that? That was some time somewhere. Right, I can't even remember what that guy was called, but he was called some dinner reservation time. So there's that. Now he'll just get some message that says, here's some nice little image. Thank you for booking a table with us. We'll see you at that time. So we can just take a look and see, does that even actually look good? Looks great, I think. Perfect, awesome, beautiful. So now we'll just go in and send that content to user. And then we'll just pick that demo bot. And then we'll pick that piece of content. reservation was scheduled. And then we're going to do the same thing that we always do here. We're just going to go in and we're going to use a custom value. And then we're just going to grab this guy's ID from step 1. And now that thing was done. So now that we have that done, we got our custom piece of content there. We got another custom piece of content here. So now we can come over here to my automation and we can go to keyword and we can create a new rule and we can say book a table, dinner reservation, make reservation, etc., whatever those keywords should be. And then we can now go and create that keyword, set an existing, and we can just pick that make reservation flow. And now we can come over here and say, hey, can I book a table? And now that flow will actually be triggered. So there'll be 5 people in my party. And that will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Now, why that guy did not send me back my... Oh, that's why he didn't send anything, because he is off. So since he's off, let's turn him back on. Now he's on, so let's ask that guy again to book a table. Pretty sure I spelled table wrong. There we go. Still pretty sure I'm spelling table wrong. There we go. Now he's booking a dinner reservation. We'll go back in and give him a party of 7. So now we're going to book that reservation for tomorrow at 3 p.m. So now hopefully our Zapier guy, he'll return us back that custom piece of content, which he now is returning back that custom piece of content that the dinner is reserved. Now he's going to return back my custom piece of content that lets me know that, hey, we'll see you in your party of 7 soon tomorrow at 3 p.m. So now if I come back to my calendar, I can see that I've got a dinner reservation tomorrow for that guy. Now, sometimes this looks a little bit weird because I scheduled it at 3, but this is scheduled at 4, and that's because that you have some time zone set on your schedule, which is not the actual right time zone. So you have a time zone set in this instance of I have a time zone of Eastern time, but Eastern time right now is in some daylight saving time or it's in some time where it's forwarded up an hour. So Google's automatically adjusting for that. So now the reservation is booked. So now if you want, you can come in here and you can create another Zap. And whenever you create this Zap, you can just create Google Calendar and you can go in whenever an event starts. And then you can pick this calendar guy, pick your calendar. This dinner reservations, time between, let's say, I think, at least an hour or 2 hours is a good time, especially what you need to keep in mind is depending on your level of Zapier account. So whether you're a basic member or a pro or an enterprise, that's going to determine how often these Zaps can actually run. So for example, this Google Zap, for most people, it's going to run every 15 minutes. All right. So if you go in and say, hey, I want to notify you 5 minutes or 15 minutes before your meeting, there are several use cases where you can see that they're not actually going to get a notification before their event starts. They may actually get it after their event starts, because this Zap will only run every 15 minutes, and you want to do it 15 minutes before, so they could get the notification. Plus there's a little bit of delay in real time. So you need to have ManyChat ID field in invoicingyu.com. What do you need that for?
Because you told me you want to show that for the hidden field. So you can put that field.
Yeah, that field should be just a variable, just a data variable. Whenever I go in and actually create the invoice, I'm going to inject that.
Yes. So you have to give it. You have field right there, right?
I need to have an input box that says hidden field. And in there, I'm going to pick from step 1, the ManyChat ID.
Yes. So I cannot edit that app.
You can't edit what app?
That app. I mean, I need to add that field right here. So I cannot edit that app because I'm using the invite you or something like that.
You can't edit the app because people are using it. So you just need to clone that app and edit the clone version. And then you need to launch that app and replace the version that's in production already. Ask Malloy how to do it, because he must be knowing, if he's there, he must be knowing how to do it. So anyways, like I said, we're going to do 1 hour search term. This is optional. We don't care. So at least 1 hour, that works good for me. So let's fetch and continue that guy. And then we're just going to continue. And then now we're going to go in and choose an app, and we're going to choose ManyChat. And we're going to send so we can do the same thing here for this demo purpose. We're just going to go in and send a text message to user. But probably the cooler thing to do here would be what we just did before, which is go in and create a nice little custom content that says, hey, you got a dinner reservation right now, that gives that guy some specific information based on the data that he actually gave us, and not the data that Google translated, because Google's going to translate some data as well. So whatever data he gave us, we can go in and give it back to him in some custom flow that we've created. And then we can just send him that content back now. Like, we can send him a custom image. We can send off to our graphic designer to go in and make that same dinner reservation photo and put like a little time guy there, right? And maybe make a little GIF of a time ticking to let him know, hey, your dinner reservation's coming up soon. Send him back that custom piece of content that whenever we send him this notification. But for here, we'll just send him a text message and let him know that you've got some dinner reservation coming. So we're going to grab this guy from custom value, and then we're going to grab this description right here. And the message text is, hey, you have a and that's all we actually have to do there. We're going to skip that and continue, because I'm skipping that and continuing because I know it's not going to work, because I can see that, and the data that I just got back from Google, I had an empty description, which does not have any ManyChat ID, so ManyChat's just going to fail there. So I'm going to do the same thing here, which is notify about reservation, or so now that's done. Now the guy can go in and make a dinner reservation. It can be added to our Google Calendar, and whenever it gets an hour close to that actual dinner reservation, whenever it's time for him to do that, will you get me some matches, Tapas? Whenever it's time for him to have that dinner reservation, then he is going to get a notification. So what else? Maybe you guys can just think of what else and give me like 30 seconds, and I'll just go pee real quick. Hey, you got some water, Topos? Water. Cold water. So what else, guys? Something else you want me to go over? Yes, no, maybe? Anything?
Can't think of anything right now.
Thank you, sir, very much. Okay, well, if you guys don't have anything else to go over, then we can go ahead and jump off, because typically all I do in training is I just ask you guys what you want to see, and then we do whatever it is that you want to actually do. Then we just do it practical, just like we did here, so you can see exactly how to do it, and you can go in and actually do it on your own. So whenever you guys don't have anything to talk about, the only thing that I ever tell you guys is, if you want to and you're not broke ass jokes, you can go in and give me some money. For that money, what you're actually going to get for that money is you're going to get your money back in ad spend. We're in the training, we're going to do some actual live ads. We're going to show you how to actually create your Facebook ads, how to do some demographics. So you're prepaying for your ad spend. We're going to spend that in your ads. You're going to get an ebook by one of my clients named Jeff Hershey on the art of naturally persuasive selling. You're going to get a 1 hour one-on-one training session with me. So we can do whatever you want. We can sing and dance during that time if you want. You can go talk to one of your clients and introduce me to your clients. I can do your sales for you and get you a new client for you. We can do some more training like this. We can do some strategy. We can talk about your business, your goals, what you want, and I can tell you what things you should actually be doing to be able to accomplish those things. And then if you want any of the replays, like the replay of this training video, the replay of all the pre-training videos, and any of the replays of the 35 hours worth of live training and guest speakers that we're going to have starting December. If you want those replays, the only way that you're going to be able to get those replays is to go in and take action on this offer. If you don't take action on this offer, then you won't get those replays.
Nice.
You got anything else, Ethan?
No, not really. I got stuck on one of the steps that we talked about before. If you still have a second and you want to go over it.
Yeah, sure. What's that?
So I got the custom fields all set up. I triggered the zap when they clicked on the button. I pushed the value onto the list, and then I incremented the value. But then I kind of am blanking on what the second zap is.
Oh, well, the second zap is whenever, in zap 1, you're just adding an item to the order, right? So at some point you want to do a checkout process. So zap 2 would be that checkout process. Zap 2 is going to be on a completely different flow. Let's say the user clicks checkout or they hit some button to checkout. Now, when they hit that button, you're going to go in and you're going to retrieve that list from storage and you're going to show them, this is your order. Here's everything that you're ordering, this list of stuff. How much is this shit going to cost you? This total value.
So I guess I'm stuck on how I get from the trigger in ManyChat of checkout to getting the value from the list from storage.
Sure. So here is the zap. It says checkout. So this is the zap that's triggered when a user wants to check out. So we're going to go in and do a search with Google storage. Correct. We're going to do that search. Now we're going to give our key value that we use for our order. We're just going to give that key value. This £S is just a formatter that allows us to go in and say, like, for example, it's just a variable. I can say line item. And then this £S represents the iteration of each object inside this list. So it will be line item plus whatever data is in that point of the actual list. So this is the actual format that's going to come out. For every line item in my list, I'm going to output line item and then the actual line item. But I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to output the data itself. So I'm just going to give the pound S because that is the actual data. So, and then I'm going to separate those on a line item. Now, I could separate them by a comma or by a space or nothing or by a comma and a space, but good night. See you tomorrow. But I'm just going to separate those by a new line item. So now step 2, this step right here, will give me back all the items that they've ordered. Now I want to go in and get their total. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in and do a get value. I'm not going to do, this is the same thing. This is, they're both searches. This one was just get list values, and this is just get value. And then on this get value, I'm just going to go search that same ID where I've actually stored their total. And now I'm going to grab their total back. And now on the mini chat side, I'm just going to go in and I mean, I actually have different ways to do this. I could literally, if I wanted to, if I wanted to make this more pretty, what could I do? At this point, I could add an action and I could set a custom field in MiniChat, order total, order line items. And I can push this data back to MiniChat and set those custom fields and say, hey, here's your order items, here's your order total. Now I can go in and create my own custom content in MiniChat like we did before with that reservation, where I give them a nice little image and I give them some more unique content with some options, where now I'm loading in that order total that I just pushed in from MiniChat. I first pushed in, I set that custom field as whatever the order total is here. So now I can give them back that custom piece of content. And then on the MiniChat side, I can just reference that order total that gets populated here first. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to send them back a simple text message like this. But I could do it the other way if I want to.
All right. Yeah, I think the only thing that I was tripped up on was I was trying to find I was using Zapier storage connected to ManyChat on my second one, on the Check-It one, and I didn't use the search function on it.
Yeah, you got to use the search function because you want to go in and actually look up those values.
Yeah, cool. All right, I think I got that now, man. I love it. You're providing a ton of value. I really appreciate it.
That is, if you come in here and actually look, I think it's like right here. It's on one of these guys. Maybe it's on this guy. No, if it's on this guy, maybe. So this is a really good saying. If you look at this guy, this is where I'm actually asking you. This is where I'm actually asking you for $47. And it tells you right here, if you add enough value, you will never have to worry about money ever again. If you create enough value for people and you're not doing it to psychopath assholes, if you're doing it to the average person and you create enough value, that person will go in and repay you in some way, shape, or form, whether with cold hard cash, whether it was providing you some service, giving you a shout out, giving you some social proof and review, which would then make it easier for you to get money from people, or by going in, sharing your content, or sending you referrals. So if this is your philosophy in business, which is my philosophy, if you just provide value and you don't try to get any money, people will go in and they will give you the money. Like even I've got people that go in and if you look here, there is another investment option here. And this, now you do get something with this option. So if you go in and actually pay this $100 a month, this is $100 a month that I'm asking you for. You can see the actual interview chat that I had with if you know who this guy, does anybody know who this guy is right here?
Nope.
No, you guys have no clue who this guy is right here. This guy is the founder. Yeah, this guy's the founder and CEO of MiniChat is who this guy is. So he called me up one day, wanted to talk about my training and what I was actually doing and what we do at our company, because I've got a bigger company than him, and I've got more people that work for me than he does. So he wanted to call and chat about that. But here you can invest in my dream. It's $100 a month. Now, I do give you access to several different softwares that my company created that have a huge value. But the main thing I'm trying to get you to do is invest in my dream of creating a free roam policy. What that free roam policy is I've got 30 engineers that work for me. Each of them have a certain passion that they're passionate about. Each of them have certain technologies that they really want to work in. They've got certain problems that they really want to solve. They've got certain things that they're really passionate about. But what do they do all day long? They do whatever the fuck I tell them to do because I pay them money. I give them a salary. So they just do whatever I tell them to do. So I would much rather prefer to put my engineers in a free roam policy where they come to work And what they do is whatever they're passionate about, whatever they really want to do. Because I know if I implement that policy, this same engineer that works 9 hours a day for me, comes to work and goes home, this guy will now instantly work 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours a day without me having to give him any more money. He'll work even more because he's working on something that he wants to. He's working on something that is his passion, something that he's really passionate about, something that he's really interested about. So he's going to work a lot for me for the same price, which means his cost to produce is actually going to go down for me. And he's also going to work at a higher optimal value. He's going to be more productive when he actually works. And he is actually going to create some innovation, right? He's going to solve some problem or create some utility, create some innovation, and he's going to work with a higher passion. So I really want to implement that free roam policy. It cost me because our main office is offshore in India. So it cost me like $25,000 a month to run this company is what it cost me to run this company, $25,000 a month. And I employ 31 people here is what work here. 30 of them are actual software engineers. And then plus you can't see it on my board, but we're actually looking for a new office space that allows us to go from the 1,300 square feet that we have here to 3,200 square feet. And it allows me to hire 6 more resources for a total cost of $30K. So that's what I'm trying to get here in this free roam policy. To get that free roam policy, basically I need 300 people who have $100 worth of arbitrage money that they could just throw up in the air or buy flowers with. And instead of buying flowers with that, they decide that they just want to give it to me because, one, they want access to all this software that I'm going to give them that would cost them a lot more money. Or two, they just really like what I'm doing. They like the value that I provide and they want to invest in my dream. And I've already had people come in and actually make this investment and pay this investment. And you're only going to get that if you take this philosophy where what you do is you just provide value first. You give value first, and if you give enough value, then you don't have to worry about any money. That money will come automatically.
Nice, John. You mentioned the other day about premium content. I don't know whether you've pushed out the video yet.
Yeah, no. So premium content. If you want premium content, you will see. I'll show you an example of premium content. So if you look in here, for example, like if you go to this guy right here, if you want premium content, all this content, for example, let's look at something else here called. This is where all the actual replays are. So if you look, you can do this you can do this keyword that's pre-training replay or pre-training replay. And if you look here, what this is going to show you is it's going to show you this crazy ass flow right here that is just getting started because I just now started doing yesterday. I just started doing the pre-training events. So I'll be doing probably 1 or 2 more today, and I'll be doing 2 or 3 every day until we actually start. Well, every weekday. I'm not going to do them on the weekends because our training is actually on the weekends once it starts. So I'll fill this up with probably 30, 40 replays and training sessions. Now, this is all premium content. So if you want access to this content, you can see that you need to have this tag. You need to have a value set to true that you have actually paid for this premium content. If you don't have this value set as true, you're not going to get access to any of these replays. What you're going to get is you're going to get funneled in here where I will give you access to 1 replay, and you can get 1 replay for free. And after you get that 1 replay, I'm going to route you to this flow right here that says, hey, if you want to get this premium content, you need to come right here, and you need to go through this process right here of sign up for this $10 a month. And for this $10 a month, now anytime you go in and you see, for example, any of the demo functionalities like do math, and you see at the end of that flow and do math, you can show me how, and I'll show you a demo video of how to actually do that, how to implement it on your own. Well, whenever you click show me how, you're going to see that if you haven't paid for this premium content, I'm going to route you in where you actually need to pay for this content. If you have paid for this content, I'm just going to deliver you that content.
Oh, so it's just a simple tag.
Yeah, it's just a simple tag. Now it runs on a precondition that you go in and actually have a way to actually dynamically set that tag and get that money. Now, you can do it manually, obviously, if you want to. If you just want to manually do it, you can do it manually. But I've got it all set up. This is one of the softwares that we give you access to. in that, what it's called is it's called the best friend offer. So this is called the best friend offer. And this best friend offer, one of these softwares that you get is you get access to this software right here, unlimited access to this software, which is this software right here. A couple times during the video, you notice that one of my engineers came in and was talking to me a couple times because he's literally going in and actually making some updates to the Zapier integrations for this software and adding a couple other features and functionalities in this software. So this software allows you to go in and create dynamic invoices on the fly. It also allows you to go in and create these preset product invoices, which is pretty much like a landing page where it's just you can see that this is a subscription to my demo bot, so you can unlock all the premium content. You can make a payment. It's $10 a month. This is delivered to you right inside Messenger. So a user, what's going to happen is a user is going to get this, they're going to click this, and it's going to open up right inside Messenger, allow them to do their transaction right inside Messenger. Now, once this happens, as soon as the user actually pays this invoice, then you can go in and through Zapier get a notification that the invoice has actually been paid, and then go in and actually set your custom field, set your tag that this user, you know, has paid for this premium content. So now he'll be able to get this actual premium content because he's paid for it. But yeah, essentially it is just a logical tag condition that checks to see if you are someone who's paid for premium content, and if you are, deliver the content. If not, route you to a way that you can actually pay to get the content.
Nice.
So pretty straightforward, but really, really useful if you're going after. So the last week in training, so we've got how training looks is every Saturday we're doing 7 hours of training. So every Saturday we're going to have 5 training sessions in December. Every Saturday in December we'll have 5 training sessions for a total of at least 7 hours. Now, even these training sessions here these pre-trainings are 1 hour pre-training sessions. If you look at most of them, they're, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because if there's people on engaging and wanting to learn things, I just keep going and don't end the training. But we'll do 7 hours of training. It's going to be broken up every Saturday in December. It's going to be broken up into 2 2-hour courses and 3 1-hour training courses. Now, every Saturday there will be a guest speaker that will come in and give us a break from hands-on training. So most of all the training will be just like we've done today, completely hands-on, where we just go in and build out exactly what you want. But 1 or 2 hours, one of those sessions every week, a guest speaker will come in. We'll have a guest speaker that will come in that is an expert on Facebook advertising and how to optimize ads, how to select demographics, how to target certain people, and how to manage all your Facebook ad stuff. We'll have a speaker that is an expert in content curation, content creation, how to actually go in and create, you know, kick-ass engaging content, how to create converting content, or how to hire a content writer, how to interview a content writer and find out whether that person is going to be able to give you good content or not. So he'll go in and talk about that. We've got someone that's actually going to come in and talk about sales, how to actually do your sales process, how to do cold calls, how to approach people, how to give a sales pitch, how to come up with a sales pitch, how to figure out what your rebuttals are going to be based on the objections, how to first figure out what the objections could be and then figure out the actual rebuttals, how to do what's really, really useful in sales, which is let your customer lead himself into the sale instead of you pushing them into the sale. How to get the customer to beg you for this product and say, you know, please let me have this. I want to give you some money. So that guy will come in. The CEO and founder of ManyChat himself is going to do a 2-hour session with us. That's going to be on December 23rd. You guys will have access to him. He's the founder, CEO of this tool that we're all using. He'll come in and do a live Q&A session where you can ask him anything that you want. And then we'll have another guy that's going to come in and talk about affiliate marketing, talk about how you can use affiliate marketing through your bot, how you can make money through affiliate marketing, or if you're selling your own products and services, how to get your own affiliate marketers that will market your products and services for you. I mean, obviously you're going to have to pay them a commission, but how to get people to market for you and promote you and even run paid advertising, because they're going to know that, hey, I'm getting some 30% commission on every sale that I sell, and it's $1,000 ticket item. So I'm going to get some $300. So I'll run a $100 a day Facebook ad if I can get one sale, because I'm going to make a $200 net. So how to go in and recruit those people? What are the affiliate platforms that you can go in and release your products and services on? So that guy will come in. And that's going to be how the actual training unfolds. Is we'll just do live training like this. We'll take a little break in between for a guest session where I can go smoke or have some lunch, or, you know, maybe manage the company that I'm supposed to actually be managed instead of doing all this stuff, and answer questions for people. And then the guest speaker will come in and he'll kind of do the same thing as me, just listen to you guys and do a QA. So you won't really want to miss that. But if you want access to any of the actual replays, like I said, if you want access to any of the replays because you can't miss a training, or you can't make it to a training, you can't make it to the guest speaker event, or you want access to the 6 live trainings that I've already done, or you want access to the other one that I'm going to do after this, or all the ones that I'm going to do until the training actually starts, well, then you need to actually be an action taker. And if you're not an action taker, I'll just tell you straight up, if you're not an action taker, you don't even want to take my training in the first place, because it's completely useless for you to take a bunch of training if you're not going to take action and actually do something with that training. If you're just going to sit there and learn the stuff but never actually do anything with it, you might as well go masturbate for a couple hours, because you're going to get a lot better return on that investment of your time than sitting and watching me train you to do something that you're never actually going to do. So that's why you need to be an action taker to actually get the replays. So,
Yeah.
but you know,
question, John.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you exclusively use ManyChat, or do you use other platforms like ChatFuel and stuff? I'm experimenting with both, so I don't know. What do you think?
I don't exclusively use ManyChat myself. For all my personal bots, for bots that I build personally, I exclusively use ManyChat for the most part. So I don't use for my personal bots, I don't use any other bot building platform other than ManyChat. If I'm not going to use ManyChat, then I'm going to do, like, you could actually, if you know a little bit of custom coding, you can deploy a custom bot pretty easy on like a Heroku platform or something like that. Even if you just look in Google, Facebook shows you like a how to like, basically they've already provided a demo app where you can do like a complete custom code app. So if it's for myself, then yeah, I'm going to use ManyChat for the most part, unless I actually need a more advanced functionality, then I'll do something custom. For clients, for clients, I try to push ManyChat because it's really, really easy. It's really, really affordable, which allows me the highest profit margin, obviously, on the bot. It's easy to maintain. It's for someone who's not an engineer, it's really, really easy to understand. So whenever I do the delivery of the bot itself, and I deliver over the keys of the kingdom to the actual client, I don't have to spend 8 hours going them and training them how to use bots and how to do things. I can literally give them some access to some pre-recorded training that I gave, and they can understand everything on their own. So it makes that delivery a lot easier, and it's a really great platform. It's easy to use, and they seem a lot more responsive in their community, and they seem a lot more responsive as far as the management of the actual company, their vision for the company, and actually doing what you guys said is very important, that creating value. So those guys are always going in trying to get and figure out, hey, what do their users want, and keep their actual users happy. But if my client needs a bot that is better on another platform, or they need to do something that I can't do in ManyChat for some reason, then yeah, I'm obviously gonna use another platform. Like if my client wants to incorporate natural language processing, then I don't really have a choice. I got to use another platform right now until ManyChat incorporates some native natural language processing in. So if they want to use AWS, Lex, or something like that to do their natural language processing, then I've got to go with I've either got to go with a different platform, or I've got to go with a complete custom bot. So it really just depends on what the client wants. For my personal stuff, I really enjoy ManyChat. It's great. The community's great. You get a lot of support from the community. And it's a really easy platform to understand. So So for the most part, yeah, I pretty much just use ManyChat, but I've used I've used pretty much every, I've used pretty much every platform. Even I get invites, and I've got one, and I haven't actually completely looked over it, but somewhere in here, I just got an actual, and I do have a monkey, by the way. But somewhere in here, yeah, this guy right here, they just actually, these guys are building their own bot platform, and they've asked me to go in and actually be part of their beta test and check out their actual bot platform. I haven't got a chance to do it because honestly, whenever I went the first time to go check it out, it gave me an error whenever I first tried to create my Facebook page. So I just didn't go in and keep messing with it. So even right now, it's giving me some errors. So I'm just not going to mess with it. But I'm open to pretty much any platform. It's just, I mean, for ManyChat, come on, it's $10 a month. I mean, it's $10 a month. It's so cheap. It's so easy to use. The community is really, really helpful. So for me, it's a no-brainer to use them, but I'm not bound to them. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, and I'm not bound to them. I mean, I want to use whatever the most supported is and whatever the best platform is. And right now, it's really them. I mean, now there are a few other functionalities with platforms like Chat Fuel or something, but those functionalities are only good for people who aren't super geniuses like me, because I mean, even those, I mean, Chat Fuel offers some native payment in Stripe. Well, I have my own invoicing platform where I can easily do that myself through ManyChat, because I've built a software to do it customly. So I don't need to go to them to use that functionality, because I can create that functionality. Even other functionalities in Chat Fuel that people really like, I can build the same functionalities out in ManyChat just with Zapier. So I don't have any reason to go in and really use that platform, especially because their logic engine and their flow. I haven't. Good night. See you tomorrow. I haven't checked them out. I haven't been in Chat Fuel probably in like 2 months. So I don't know what type of updates or anything that they made. But last time I was in there, their flow builder and the actual process of creating a bot wasn't nearly as intuitive or nearly as quick as ManyChat's was.
Yeah, I was thinking in the future. So if once I build it, I'm afraid if my clients ask for certain stuff that that if I built it in ManyChat, that I can't, I can't do it and stuff like that. And especially with what you said with the AI and the natural language processing. So I don't know whether ManyChat we can use that with ManyChat. I kind of heard that we could somehow, but. That is the one thing that's making me think about using the other one besides ManyChat.
You can't use it. You can't use it functionally. You could, like, let's say if you know some programming, and it looks like AWS Lambda, they have a action where you can run a code. You can actually run some code, or you can hit a Lambda function. So now from that Lambda function, you could call AWS Lex. You could call their natural language processor through AWS. You could basically create a Lambda function that wraps around some AWS function that is going to basically pipe in your input from your user and basically check that against your NLP engine, check that against, check that utterance and see, hey, does this utterance conform to any intent? If it's so, what intent did it just invoke? Give back some information on that. But that's going to be a pretty large undertaking, especially if you don't know how to write code in Node and you don't understand AWS Lambda, because AWS Lambda is a pretty advanced topic even for an engineer like me, because it's complete stateless server. So if you don't understand that shit, then it's going to be really hard for you to integrate. So somebody like Chat Fuel, who does a native NLP integration, but even whenever, now I don't know, because like I said, I haven't been in their platform for like 2 months, but even whenever I was in there, their native NLP integration was not what I would really consider NLP. It was like a pseudo NLP. It wasn't really natural language processing, and maybe they've upgraded since then. But most people, honestly, if we're even gonna, like, if I'm talking to a client and we're even gonna mention NLP, there at least $15,000 you're going to pay. Even I don't know what the fuck you want your bot to do. I have no clue what you want your bot to do, but you've mentioned NLP, at least $15,000. You want to continue the conversation? Let's continue. If not, then you just forget about the NLP, because NLP is an advanced thing. I mean, to go in and process natural language and decipher natural language and figure out through a natural language pattern what a user is actually saying and what intent that they're wanting to invoke is something that is, I mean, it's a logical decision engine. So it's a complex thing. Even if it's easy for me to implement, even if it only takes me 2 hours to implement it, it's a complex topic. We can go in and have, really, really complex discussions about it. So just because there is that layer of AI and that layer of complexity, I'm going to charge you lots of money for that. So your average, your average person that needs a bot. Now, let's say NLP Domino's. They could use NLP greatly, because now they can allow you to go in through, just strings, multiple strings, give an order that relates to intents of their actual menu items, where you don't have to actually click buttons. You could just send some message and say, hey, I want this, this, and that. And the NLP can go in and decipher what they're talking about, add stuff to an order, do the checkout process. Okay. Now, time complexity in doing that's going to take a good amount of development and a good amount of time. But your average, your average dude that needs a bot, one, he doesn't have some 15, 20K to invest in a bot, the average person. So the average, especially the small business, they don't. Now the larger companies, they do, but those larger companies are they're not going to hire. They would hire somebody like me because they can see that I actually have a full company. I've got 30 people that work for me. I've got references where we've worked for state governments and local governments. But they're not going to hire some independent bot agency. Somebody, if they got some $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 budget to build their bot, they're not going to hire some dude working in his mom's basement or working out of his house all by himself to build their bot. They're just not going to do that because they have enough budget to go source a professional. So most people that are building bots, they're limited to these people that have some $500 budget or some $2,000 or $3,000 budget, not a real huge budget. And even the bots that they're getting built are just for marketing and delivering content. Is literally they do a little bit of flow to do some segmentation, but literally like the whole goal of their bot is to do some segmentation and then just send out marketing promotional material. So, and that's what average people want in their bot. They want to build their list, and they want to segment some people, broadcast out some promotions. They don't want to do anything really, really complex, right? So
you're in India, right now?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, how much are they charging over there for the lower end for the bots to create it and to maintain it every month?
So there's no real market for it over here. It's really still like a real foreign concept over here. No one over here is actually using it or has heard of it, and no one's actually really marketing it over here. But I would say firms like native firms. So our company is a U.S. based company, and we have our dev HQ over here, which allows us to get a real low price, to get like a really valuable service. I've got engineers at work that I recruited from Microsoft, that I recruited from IBM, from Tata, from Cognizant that work for me. And it allows us to consume those resources at a relatively low price, considering, a westernized market from the US where I'm at. So literally here I can hire an engineer that, worked at IBM for 4 years. I can hire 7 of them for the same cost that it cost me for one developer in the US. So I would say the average firm, not me, because we have this layer of, America in front of us. And whenever my clients deal with a strictly American company, they can sue us in an American court of law if they have the need to. But I would say a native company over here, they're probably charging maybe $200, $200, $600 for these real basic bots that are literally just doing like a little bit of segmentation, capturing some email, some phone number, doing a little bit of tagging and segmentation, and then just doing marketing content. So, and then they're probably charging like
$200 to $600 US dollars.
Right.
Because I'm in Malaysia, so the market here I think is similar to the market in India. So I'm still trying to figure out the pricing over here.
Well, the pricing, man, I want to tell you, whenever you're And I think a lot of the sales guys will tell you this as well. When you're pricing stuff, man, don't price based on what your competitors are charging. Price directly based on the value that you're going to provide. So don't price anything. Don't even give two shits what your competitors are charging. Look at the value that you're going to actually provide. Look at the value that you're going to create, and come up with a covariant to translate the value that you're going to deliver into the budget that your client actually has, and maximize that and charge as much as you can. Charge proportional to the value that you're actually going to charge. Because trust me, you get some guy, he's going to charge some $300, right? And he's just going to tell your client some, hey, it's going to be some $300. You go in, tell the same dude, hey, I'm going to charge you $2,500. If you can provide him and show him what value you're going to give him, and how that $2,500 is, let's say, 12 times more valuable than the $300 other dude is going to charge him, he's going to see that, hey, if it's 12 times more valuable, that should be $3,600, but you're only charging me $2,500, so you're giving me a huge discount. You're creating proportionally a lot more value than this other guy. He's going to go with you. If you show him the actual value, what you're going to do for him, trust me, most of those guys that are going to do some $200, $600, $200, $300, $400 bot, they're not going to create any actual value. They're going to give you some generic ass bot that they've sold to the same group of clients over and over and over again. Are they going to go in and sit down with you and talk to you and first understand who you are, who your business is, what your brand is about, what your company image is about, what your actual goals are about, what you're trying to actually accomplish in your company, what your current processes are, so that we can figure out what those current processes are and we begin to actually automate them with the bot, which is going to save you a lot of time? Nope. They're just going to have some demo bot and they're going to say, hey, this is what a bot could do for you. You want this bot? I'll give you this bot. It's going to be $200. Oh, don't want it? $150. Get this bot. This bot's awesome. They're not going to actually go in and literally talk to this guy. And if you do that, trust me, you want to know how to sell to somebody, just get them on the phone and get them talking about their business. Ask them about their business. This guy because that guy will talk to you. He'll talk to you about his business. He'll tell you what's wrong with his business, what his pain points are, what he's doing great. That guy will never shut up about that business. All you got to do is listen, man. The more that you listen, the more valuable you become, just like I told you with that content, because that business owner values his time. He's going to most likely have a much higher perception of his time than your time. If he's thinking your time's worth $50 an hour, he's going to think his time's worth at least double, right? Because he owns a whole company. So his time must be worth double than you. So if you get him talking for 2 hours and you listen to him, guess what? Even if you've done nothing at all, you just created a lot of value there because he's invested his time in you. So now he looks at you, and whenever he sees you, he sees a value because he's invested his time with you already, even if you've done nothing at all. So if you go in first in your first approach and say, hey, let's talk for an hour, let's talk for 2 hours. Why? Because I can't even begin to tell you what your bot should do. I can't even begin to tell you what I would build you and how I'm going to help you until I know something about you. Once I know something about you and your actual business and your goals and your business mentality and your philosophy, what you're trying to accomplish, what your current processes are, how those processes are working, how they're not working, until I know that shit, I can't sell you anything. I can't tell you what I'm going to do for you or how I'm going to actually help you. And a business owner would be a fool to believe that you can go in and without asking him a single question, you can go in and, tell him, hey, I've got this magic solution that's going to help your business that I know nothing about. So you first just get him talking. You get him talking. The more time you get him talking, even don't try to sell him anything. Don't try to offer him anything. Just only try to get him to give you time. You get him to give you a couple hours of time. Now, that's where you're leading him into a sale. You're leading him into a sale because he done talked to you for 2 hours. You haven't even tried to sell anything to him. You've just listened and you've created that value just by absorbing his time, getting him to invest his time. He'll literally ask you, what are you selling me? How can I give you money? Let me pay you for something. What are you trying to sell me? Just give me something. Where can I go pay you at? The other dude, he's just like, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? That guy is not, he's not going to consider that guy valuable at all. So you just get the person talking, but don't worry about what your competitors are charging. I'm not going to say don't worry about what they're charging. Do some research in the market and understand what they're charging so that you can relate your prices and the value of your service in relation to them. But definitely don't price yourself according to what they're charging, because you don't know what the hell that dude's doing for $300. I mean, like I said, that dude most likely definitely ain't calling somebody on the phone and talking to that guy and getting an understanding of his business. So you price yourself, understand your competition and what they're charging, understand their price points, but price yourself based on your service and the value that you're actually going to provide in a relation to what your client can provide. You know, you provide the same value to do different clients. You charge one $1,000, you charge two $5,000. Why? Because it only costs you $500. You're still going to get a profit. Anything over $500 is a profit, and the $1,000 guy can't afford $500 or $5,000. The most he can afford is $1,000. So sell him for $1,000 and get him, make a little bit of money and get him to refer all his friends that can afford some $3,000 or $4,000. But that dude that can afford $5,000, don't sell him, you know, the same thing you just sold this other dude for $1,000 because he couldn't afford $5,000. Get your full $5,000 for him because he's got the budget, he's got the money, and ultimately you're going to give him that same amount of value.
Yeah, makes sense. So you're saying be a consultant, not do a mass kind of thing, right?
Yeah. If you, I mean, what do you want to go for? I mean, it's even you do a mass volume, right? You can make some money. You do a mass volume, but the quality of what you're going to provide in a mass volume is going to be really, really low, right? You're not going to have a high quality. You're literally going to have the same bot over and over and over again. You're going to have the exact same thing. Now, what's your time investment on managing all your clients? You're going to have to talk to them. You have to talk to your client. You want that client to pay you every single month, a retainer? You better talk to him at least an hour a month. You better get in his ear and continue to create that value in yourself just by consuming his time. So now you go and you get some 400 clients. How are you going to talk to them? I mean, how are you going to give each of them an hour every month? You're not going to do it. You're much better off, instead of getting $400, giving 400 dudes getting you $100 a month retainer. You're much better off. Get 5 dudes that you're giving you $10,000 a month retainer. Why? Because you're providing such a high value to them.
Interesting. You mentioned earlier that the 1 hour time that you're willing to speak to a client and sell them and stuff like that, because I got a couple of clients lined up who might have big projects. So they handle big online like an eBay thing for Malaysia. So I'm thinking of pitching them a bot to do shopping online. So I don't know. I'll maybe discuss with you at another time. Maybe we could do something about that.
Yeah, if you take this action here, you get a 1 hour. You get a 1 hour one-on-one with me. If you take this other action here that comes after this, that best friend offer, if you take that, you get an additional 2 hour. So you get a total of 3 hours. We do whatever you want. Like I said, we play chess. We can have a rapping competition. We can do productive stuff. I can talk to your client for you. You can introduce me as your tech guy or your business partner, or you can introduce me as your employee for all I care. I don't care. Tell somebody. I already run a company, man. I already run a company, got a bunch of people that work for me. You want to tell your client that I'm your employee and I work for you? I don't care, man. If that helps you get the sale, let's do it. But we do whatever you want for that time, man.
Nice. All right. So I'm good, John. I gotta run. So this has been great. 90 minutes.
Yep. What about you, Tim? Are you good? All right, guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks, John.
Yep. Bye.